Nestled in Kingston, Ontario, lies Old Phone Works, a unique business dedicated solely to phones of a now almost bygone era. Owner Don Woodbury says there isn't a landline in existence they don't service, no matter when they were made.
Old Phone Works is an organization that we started 24 years ago, and it was basically brought online to facilitate the sale of vintage phones. Vintage phones going back to when the phone was invented, which is 1876, and we actually go all the way up to the 2020s, because some of these vintage phones or vintage phone styles are still being made today.
Woodbury adds that the company was formed purely by happenstance.
Old Phone Works got started from a vision we had. At the time, I was operating a series of cellular phone stores across Ontario, and we were opening a store in downtown Kingston in a historic building. And I got the brilliant idea that maybe we should put a vintage phone in this store, just as a interesting piece to contrast with the cellular phones, which we did. It was a old wooden wall phone from about 1920, and put it on the wall. Looked great in the whole bit, but next week someone wanted to buy it. And that's basically where it started. We determined that there was a market for this stuff, and it grew from there.
Growth is precisely what took place as the business expanded beyond just sales of phones.
Old Phone Works provides a variety of services related to antique phones. Not only do we sell antique phones, but we also repair and service them for customers from across North America, really. So they will send us their vintage phone and say it doesn't work, and can you make it work? Or can you refurbish it to like new condition? We have the facility here to do that.
The work done on the phones is of the highest order, as well as visionary, says Woodbury.
Old Phone Works has a really, really high level of quality control with regard to the product we produce. When we refurbish a phone, we go to great lengths to ensure that it is 100%. Right down, is the paint perfect? We manufacture our own cords for the phones. Are the cords perfect? Are the internals functioning properly? So I like to think that our quality is really second to none. And some of the products with regard to unique envisionings of what a product can be, they are 100% unique. No one else does it. So, we will take a military phone that was available in standard black in the 1950s, and we will say, well, what can we do with that phone? And so we will take this classic military phone and do something that I'm sure that no military planner ever envisioned. We'll paint it pink. And this is unique. I don't know of anyone else who does that.
This niche type of business is quite popular, says General Manager Jeff Martin.
So the demand for old phones is fairly large. We're a small operation, so that allows us to stay pretty lean, but we ship 15, 20 phones out a week, and it's steady all throughout the year. Leading up to Christmas is our busy season, and our numbers will go up significantly then.
The history behind the work is an important aspect to Martin.
I think people should know about Old Phone Works and the refurbishment of phones, because it's an important part of our history that we should really keep alive. It's something that really allowed us to progress over the years, and although cell phones are convenient, they do go out from time to time, and the traditional old phone lines do stay active during a power outage, which can be nice in emergency situations.
Becoming involved in the movies was also something that happened purely by chance.
Old Phone Works got involved with the movie industry just by them randomly reaching out to us one day. And once you get into the business, your name spreads throughout the business, and it's just built off of that now. Some of the movies our phones have appeared in are Cinderella Man. We provided candlestick telephones for them, and we also did the remake of Grease, amongst other movies over the years.
Old Phone Works isn't just stuck in the past when it comes to the usage of the phones they provide.
The other thing that we do, which is kind of interesting, is, these vintage phones were designed to work on one type of telephone system. And slowly but surely, those telephone systems are disappearing, being replaced by cell phones and other types of telephone services. So we feel that we have a responsibility here to allow these phones to be used on these new systems. So we have technologies that we can install in the phones whether it's converting the rotary dial pulses into tones that are, able to be understood by modern equipment, or even Bluetooth connections so that you can use your cell phone as your telephone line for these vintage phones, and they will work just like they did back in the day.
From the vintage to the present and beyond, Old Phone Works keeps the phones ringing. For WPBS Weekly, I'm Eric Cleary.